So, we have the Sacramento Kings against the Brooklyn Nets, and this was a goddamn dogfight. Mikal Bridges started off really hot, and then it was a real slugfest actually. Both teams were not able to score that much. Here's Sabonis bullying his way into the rim. He had 20 points in the first half. He was going off in that first half, but that was about the only thing going for the offense. De'Aaron Fox in this beautiful pick and roll with Sabonis, so undefensible. They just have so many options out of the pick and roll. I always remember how they talked about it on a show, probably NBA Today on ESPN. That was one of the best segments ESPN has done in years. Here's a three-pointer from Royce O'Neal. And, I mean, this game was still close a lot of the times, but every time the Nets got, close enough, it felt like they just couldn't hit the shot that would bring them back into the game fully. And the Kings just rallied, and Sabonis it's the layup here, and both teams just bothered each other physically and lengthwise. And here's an offensive rebound from Sabonis. Here you get a 1-1-3 shot from Malik Monk. De'Aaron Fox gets the offensive rebound. They have to foul him, and the game was over there. But both teams bothered each other really well, especially on just every shot about that. They were just. Both teams are lengthy and smaller size, right? And they really bothered each other every time, and it was weird. Of course, there were a lot of missed open shots at the same time, but it was actually, I felt like a solid defensive game, especially considering this year's NBA. I didn't feel like it was like they were missing layups and only wide open three-pointers. It was some really good defense being played, and that's great to see, especially considering the Kings, and the Nets, of course, have a lot of defensive personnel when you look at their roster. The Kings, 24-21-5 for Sabonis. And, I mean, they clinched their first winning season since 2006 and 2007, man. That's crazy, man. That's actually crazy. And, I mean, they deserve it so much, man. They've been through hell, and they finally found the right coach, it appears. The culture has shifted, the beam has appeared, and it just looks really good in Sacramento. Will be interesting to see where they play in the first round of the playoffs, man, because, I mean, I'm not still sure they're gonna win a playoff series. They 100% have the personnel for it and the offense for it, but we'll see, man. It's gonna be intriguing depending on the matchups, right? They could play the Warriors, the Lakers, the Timberwolves, the the Mavs. Technically, there are a lot of potential opponents for them, and it really depends on the matchup and on how they look coming into the playoff series, right? But it's gonna be a slugfest either way, I feel like. And tonight, besides from Sabonis, Keegan Murray had a solid night. The bench was once again really good. Malik Monk was plus 18, 12, 5, and 6 was really good despite not shooting efficiently and well. Trey Lyles had a really good stint after coming back from that one-game suspension. Kessler Edwards continues to play some solid ball, and Kevin Huerter got hurt, which is the biggest negative for the Kings, and he could not return to the game with a leg injury. I have not read anything regarding it, if he's gonna get an MRI, how long he's gonna be out. I've read that it's shouldn't be a long-term injury, and it should be of a smaller size. So hopefully he's gonna be he misses 1 or 2 games, 2 or 3 games, and be back, and the Kings can continue this beautiful season of theirs. While the Nets, of course, still fighting for their spot in the playoffs and not having to be in the play-in, and the defense looks fine, right? But the offense is just meh. Spencer Dinwiddie, I just don't like the ball in his hands when the game gets, into the crunch time. And, off the bench, they don't, have enough good options most of the nights. It's always, I mean, I don't know, man. The bench is just so inconsistent, and overall they are just inconsistent, especially offensively, considering their personnel. Dorian Finney-Smith had just 5 points in 23 minutes on 1 of 4. Cam Johnson, 10 on 11 shots, right? Nick Claxton had 14 and 14. He was really good. Mikal Bridges was great to start, and he kind of fizzled out. Wasn't as effective and efficient as he has been, so far in his time in Brooklyn. And the bench, besides Seth Curry, was just really bad. And Royce O'Neal had some moments, but he couldn't hit the shots that they needed him to make. That were the shots that could bring them right into the game, and were kind of the momentum shots, right? That's the type of shot that, you know, cuts the lead to 5-3, 1-point game, and just gives you the momentum boost after a good defensive stop, after a good fast break. That type of three, he just couldn't hit those tonight, and a rough loss for the Nets, for sure.